I'll be the first person to tell you that I don't know anything about music. I used to know how to read it back in the 7th grade, but I've lost that ability. But with that being said, music has always meant a lot to me. Whenever I'm in a bad mood or upset about something, I don't go watch Netflix or YouTube. It's music I turn to. Which is why I've always adored video game music. Whether it be from retro consoles like the NES or more modern consoles like the Switch, it doesn't matter. So here's a list of a few of my favorite video game songs and soundtracks in no particular order. Donkey Kong Country, probably in almost every single top 10 best SNES games list ever. And honestly, I can't deny that. DKC is an amazing game with an outstanding soundtrack, but there's one song in particular that stands out from the rest, and that has to be Aquatic Ambience. But I mention that because it's not the one on the list. Instead, I'm actually going with another song from a completely different game. Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Color. If I had to guess, most people have never heard of this game because I've never heard a single person ever mention it. Now you can probably assume by now I am going with the water level music, and for a few reasons. I'll admit, I do enjoy the SNES version of the song a lot better. I never actually had it growing up, so I never heard it until I was older. I had the Game Boy Color version as a kid, and so this is the song I remember and have the most memory of. Pokemon has been a major part of my life for as long as I can remember. I honestly can't remember a time that I didn't like Pokemon, at least a little bit. My very first game was Pokemon Gold for the Game Boy Color, and it still holds a special little place in my heart, along with the best 2nd gen starter, Chikorita. It was really hard to pick just a single song from this, but I narrowed it down to New Barktown. The amount of nostalgia that I get whenever I hear this song is insane. I'm not exaggerating when I say it almost makes me teary-eyed every time I hear it. Doom is by far one of the best solo FPS games I have played in the last decade, and partly it's because of the outstanding music. Doom's soundtrack fits so incredibly well with the gameplay, it's crazy. I mean, Mick Gordon uses a chainsaw for one of the songs. There's not a single track on the Doom 2016 OST that I don't like, but the one that I think is the best has to be Rip and Tear. I love bass, and this song has a ton of it, to the point that I sometimes feel like that my railroad sign will fall off of my wall. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I can't say that I'm a fan. I can't really say I'm a Zelda fan, honestly, but what I can say is that the Zelda franchise has some of the best music compared to any other Nintendo game. From Majora's Mask all the way up to Breath of the Wild, the music has been the one thing to stay consistently amazing. This pick might be a bit controversial, though, because the song is Ilia's theme. I know it might seem like a really specific song from a game I've never even played myself, but the song unintentionally holds a lot of close memories for me, and that's why I decided to put it on the list. Team Fortress 2. I love Team Fortress 2. I might not play it much anymore, if really at all, but I do still love it. Easily one of my top 10 games of all time, and that goes for some of the music. I'm pretty sure most people know at least one song from Team Fortress 2. What's a more perfect game to pick after Team Fortress 2 than Overwatch? I'll be honest and say that the Overwatch soundtrack isn't actually one of my favorites outright. I don't just listen to the music like I do with other games, but the reason it's on my list is for other reasons. Overwatch is easily my favorite game. Nothing comes close to how much I love this game and how much I love the characters. I don't like the music because it's some masterpiece, but because it always makes me happy. Undertale became a massive hit almost overnight, and rightfully so. I can't say I played it myself, but I've watched full playthroughs of it, and I can say just from that, the game looks wonderful. The art style, the setting, the characters are all great. All that wrapped up in a beautiful soundtrack makes the game almost perfect. all of the Halo series, but more specifically, the Halo 3 games. Halo 3 was when I really started to appreciate just how great video game music is, and honestly, there wasn't a better time. Halo's music, apart from a few songs, are so good, and don't get me started on that amazing theme song that I'm pretty sure everyone knows by heart. If I had to pick a #1 favorite song from the Halo franchise, it would have to be Rain from Halo 3 ODST. I never played through much of ODST when I was younger. I really need to go back and do that, but the music in that game is beautiful. I'm a sucker for piano, and then that saxophone alongside it just makes it even better. So this has been 8 of my favorite video game music. There are a ton more songs and soundtracks that I absolutely adore. This was only just a few. There's so many that the video would be an hour long or more. But if you enjoyed the video, then feel free to hit that like button, comment below if you'd like to see more. And until next time, I will talk to you all later. Bye!